Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
By the way, nice use of the word ancillary.
Oh, can we put that on a magnet? Words with Amy?
On AM 560.
Your magnet will be Word with Amy.
The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The leafy village of Oak Park, arguably the home of Ernest Hemingway. Arguably.
Yes.
Cicero still claims Hemingway, too. Big, always a fight over Hemingway.
Really?
The nuclear-free zone, Oak Park.
Oh, thank goodness.
You're not allowed to either possess nuclear weapons or deploy them in Oak Park. They passed a resolution, and that's
wondering where there's. I was going to store those nuclear rods, Dan.
That's controlling. That is controlling. Yep, you're going to have to put your plutonium elsewhere.
Remember when they wanted to give people a ticket for eating in their car? Remember that was out of Oak Park.
So many great moments in Oak Park Village government history. Here's another one. Meet Susan Buchanan. Ooh, boy. Cinch it up and hunker down. At Oak Park Trustee, at a village board meeting, Trustee Susan Buchanan got after some of her fellow board members on the topics of racial equity and oppression. Earlier this year, the Oak Park Community Relations Commission recommended amendments to its diversity statement. Could you think of a less interesting way to spend your life? No.
I'm sorry.
At the May 29th meeting, the trustees tabled the discussion.
Oh, okay.
But
don't hold your breath.
It was revived for the most recent meeting. And this is how that went. Susan Buchanan is the one you hear sort of dominating the discussion and, frankly, eliminating any discussion.
Yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'm serious.
Susan,
Jim, why do you have an opinion on this?
Come on, Susan.
Susan, this is... I won't say a word.
That's why I like to...
You shouldn't have an opinion on that.
I met with constituents of color, and quite honestly, some of the feedback was that some of this wording was ridiculous.
From birth. You have been white from birth. Why are you arguing what is a system of oppression? You've never experienced one.
Okay.
So shut up. I don't want to hear from you. Just stop. Just stop, Dan. Stop, Dino. You are not oppressed, and people in Oak Park are, and we are trying to recognize that as a community. This mayor and this board is obviously not willing to face history. We have a chance to make history. It is time for this community to face equity. Enough. And you stop it. You are a white male. Stop it. You are a white male. Your skin is light enough. Stop it.
I gotta let...
I think if we reduce these conversations to nobody cares what you have to say because you're a white male, I don't think we're doing this right.
That was village trustee Dan Maroney at the end. Dan Maroney was subsequently executed after the meeting.
Stop it. No. Well, Susan Buchanan, she's white, but she's down with the struggle because her husband appears to be African-American and they have a child together.
That's
from what I'm learning online.
That's Dr. Susan Buchanan to you.
Oh, excuse me, Missy.
What a fun bedside manner she has. She began her career in family practice, apparently. But then later lost her mind at some point and became this individual that you've just heard. She spent the last 15 years, according to her CV, helping vulnerable workers by improving health and safety on the job, has become an expert on the health effects of environmental pollutants. Oh, I bet.
And my eyes roll over. Okay.
She is an attending physician and clinical associate professor of occupational and environmental health sciences at UIC's Health and Hospital System and School of Public Health. Yeah. Another feather in the cap for UIC, just when you thought Bill Ayers was their most renowned professor emeritus. You get to meet Susan Buchanan. Shut up! You're a white man. You can't talk. I mean, by the way,
And she's pointing his finger. If you see the video too, she's pointing like, "Shut up! You're a white guy."
I don't. I don't. I don't know what the political dispositions of any of the other trustees. I can't imagine they're particularly conservative. It is Oak Park. But that was a bold statement that Trustee Dan Maroney made, right? If you can't say anything because you're a white man, maybe we're not doing this right. Huh. What do you think about that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. The kind of hysterics that you see on the streets of Portland or on your local college campus are not limited to those places.
Oh, no.
How many times have we said on this show what we talk about in one locale or in one setting, they are coming to a village government, to a corporate boardroom, to a K through 12 school system, to a downtown business district near you. Meet Dr. Susan Buchanan, who is ready to sacrifice herself for black and brown people on the pyre of the village's diversity statement.
What is that even? I mean, what is the diversity statement?
Don't care. The more important.
I mean, who
the
does
more
care?
important.
Do you think anybody takes
Yeah.
time to read a village's diversity statement? I didn't even know they had such things.
Forget reading it. What does it do?
What does it mean?
What does it accomplish? How does that uplift black and brown people who were arguably oppressed, depending on what exactly we're talking about and which group we're exactly talking about? I tell you, it's really remarkable, too. It's such a bastardization of the history of black Americans, which is a history of resilience and achievement. But Susan Buchanan doesn't want to talk about that, and neither do any of the other race racketeers. The history of black achievement and resilience in the face of pernicious institutions like slavery and Jim Crow. So I guess my question to Susan Buchanan, I mean, I wouldn't be allowed to ask it because I'm a white man. I would probably suffer the fate of Dan Maroney, be sent to, Oak Park Diversity Jail. But do you? What are we here to try to do? We can't undo what happened. So the wounds from what happened, are we trying to heal them and point a way towards inspiration and a better model for success and achievement and enjoyment of life? Or are we to wallow in the sins of the past that we cannot undo? What's more productive? Endless diversity statements from village governments, or educating people about the history they don't know? Just speaking about black Americans as an example, the history they don't know of achievement and resilience, and pointing a way to young black people, boys and girls in K through 12, higher ed, young professionals, saying, you're part of a heritage that overcame so much to achieve so much. There's nothing you can't achieve.
Well, on her website, her platform, Racial Equity, she says that many people of color feel that this village is not for them. And she wants the village board to play a role in assuring that Oak Park Village is a place where people of color can thrive.
Yes, Oak Park, socialist paradise.
Mission statement.
It's not. They don't feel comfortable in Oak Park. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that any person who doesn't enjoy being screeched at would be comfortable in Oak Park with Susan Buchanan roaming around. She's unhinged.
She said that we should actively seek out and recruit minority residents.
Yeah. During public comment section, the public comment segment of the meeting, there was a response to Susan Buchanan.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. It's the worst. The fucking worse. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult.
Mm-hmm. The white women he was talking about, Bill
Yes.
Burr, of course. Susan Buchanan. That's what he's talking about. The self-appointed spokeswoman for black and brown people, by the way, which is center cut for the insufferable suburban Champagne socialist. Center cut, Susan Buchanan is, for that slice of life. Robert in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Oak Park. My mom still lives in Oak Park. Oak Park has always, helped a lot of my friends in high school, African American, and most of them weren't from Oak Park. They were from Austin. They were allowed to come into the Oak Park school system.
There was just a series on OPRF on one of the cable channels, and it was all done by the documentarians who did Hoop Dreams, right? And it was all race based, and it was all focused on the African American students, at least their perspective, as well as some individual students and the administrators, mostly black administrators at Oak Park River Forest. I mean, it's just so tiresome. There's no ability to there's no even purpose attempting to address anything on the merits with the Susan Buchanans of the world, but you can use her as the bad example to actually address things on the merit the way, say, a Bob Woodson or other people who actually led the civil rights movement, know something about the full story with respect to black history in America, and are looking to inspire and empower and animate poor people across the spectrum, but particularly black Americans, where Susan Buchanan is content to screech about a frickin' diversity statement and pretend like she's doing something. I'm sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Well, real quick, if they want to have more African Americans come into Oak Park, my mom's 87 years old. Her house is worth about $350,000, and she pays $15,800 a year in property taxes.
Ouch.
Okay, so if they want to make more people be able to come to Oak Park, you might want to lower
your property taxes,
how much taxes you charge.
Yeah, right.
Per house.
Yeah, nice try. Thanks
I hope
for
your
the
mom
call,
gets
Robert.
a senior exemption.
Yeah, the blank check for OPRF. I'm sorry. If you don't agree to the blank check for the schools, then you're racist. But if you make it such that nobody can make any money on their home, or nobody with any sort of economic sense would want to buy a home that it comes attached with that property tax liability, then you're racist. No matter what you do, you're racist. With Susan Buchanan at the helm. Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. I think the liberal mind rot has taken firm hold in the MD's brain. I would encourage her to get a CAT scan or something like that to see if there's any functioning brain cells left.
Mm.
The problem is that the whole people of color thriving, why not just people thriving? Why can't we start thinking about creating all places where people live in America as places where all of us can thrive? Lower taxes, fair taxes, eliminating these ridiculous morons running these towns. But here's the problem, Dan and Amy. The only way to get the Susan Buchanans of the world shut up is by responsible people saying, who is this idiot, screeching at the public and running for these positions and booting butts like hers out of those chairs.
Thanks, Ralph. Daniel in Algonquin.
Yeah, hi. Segregation has always been the progressive mindset. And this is proven time and time again, all the way back to Woodrow Wilson. So now we're dealing with the neo-segregation where, and if you're not this tribe, you can't have a voice. You have no relevance to the issue.
Thanks for the call, Daniel.
What happened to you today, sweetheart? Huh? Did they not chill your rosé? Was the trolley not running down at the mall? What happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face, you know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in the jacuzzi with me. The f*** are you talking about?
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Property managers, manufacturing, commercial, privately and locally owned companies looking for accountability from their alarm service provider. This message is for you.
Out-of-town national companies are struggling to provide service and support for your security and fire alarm system. You can do better with SMG Security. SMG Security is a local security